Hey everybody, I'm Lindsay Parker. I'm very excited here. We have the skinny legend herself, the star of The Bachelor.
Oh, thank you.
The winner of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 3, and legit country recording artist as featured in Rolling Stone, Enemy, and NPR, Trixie Mattel. I'm so excited you're here.
Thank you for having me. I have to say, drag queens probably don't enjoy sitting next to you because you're so naturally petite. We probably all just look like Stonehenge or something next to you.
Well, I just feel very plain next to you. I tried. I have the Dolly Parton. I got the pink cowboy boots, but
You also have pink hair.
I do. That helps. We sort of are coordinated. But it's nothing compared to this amazing vintage ensemble you have.
Oh, thank you. You know, I learned very quickly in drag, it never pays off to wear the corset and everything, because then when you stand behind this, your body's gone anyway, Linda. So might as well not have pants on. No, it was just a joke.
Okay. Well, there's so much to discuss, like everything I was just talking about. But before we do that, and I do want to say we're going to be taking questions from your fans, so please start submitting them. Before, we need to get to the chase. We need to get to the music. You have a new album out. It's called One Stone. It's the sequel or the companion piece to Two Birds.
Yes.
And we're going to hear 2 songs from it right now.
Yes, we are. I want to play this song called Little Sister. I just put the video out for it. My first video for the album was a little more high production, and then I always wanted to do like a really toned down, kind of low-key, fly-on-the-wall studio moment. And so my video for Little Sister just came out. I would love to play that.
Yes, please do. I'm excited.
You're my sister, and you're littler than me, so it's perfect.
It is National Siblings Day today.
It is? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I love this. This song's called Little Sister, and I'm from a very small town. So this song is sort of it's sort of a cautionary tale of like, I know you're a teenager and you've graduated high school, but oh my gosh, you don't realize how much the world is gonna like show you a thing or two about how stupid you are. You know what I mean?
It sounds like a good story song in the country music tradition.
Yes, and it's in the country music tradition. I mean, there's no dead dog or anything. It doesn't go that deep, but we'll see what happens. Okay.
All right, I'm excited.
Little boy's supposed to do what he's told. Little girl's supposed to polish her toes. Maybe they're together when they're older and all grown out. Daddy's supposed to put bread on the table. Daddy's gone and your mama ain't made. Are you hungry when the money's all run out? Tell me, little dear, if you only lived here, did you really ever live at all? 'Cause you'd be amazed in the summer how the days of the spring turn into fall. Just listen to your brother, you can run in the cover of the night sky when it falls. I know that you think that you're growing, but you're just tall. Ooh, ooh. A really pretty girl in a really small town. Easy to believe you that you never settled down. Mama told your mama just the same not long ago. You want a baby the same as your friends. Ring will find your finger and your story will end. You'll be looking around, wonder where did the time go? Tell me, little dear, if you only lived here, did you really ever live at all? 'Cause you'd be amazed in the summer how the days of the spring turn into fall. Just listen to your brother, you can run in the cover of the night sky when it falls. I know that you think that you're growing, but you're just tall. Ooh, ooh. Whoa, whoa. Don't you think I'd know? Never was a red light in our town. Whoa, whoa. I hate to say I told you so, but you gotta go right now. Tell me, little dear, if you only lived here, did you really ever live at all? 'Cause you'd be amazed in the summer how the days of the spring turn into fall. Just listen to your brother, you can run in the cover of the night sky when it falls. I know that you think that you're growing, but you're just tall. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Drag world, we tongue pop, death drop, all that, you know.
In the country world, I don't know so much, though.
Probably not. I think it's coming down the pipe. I think you'll see it at like this Country Music Awards. You'll see people like, you'll see Carrie Underwood stand up in the aisle and like fully just Laganja Shiblam to the ground, I think.
Well, that was awesome. I really enjoyed that. I loved having a ringside seat for it. It's pretty amazing. Do you want to do another song for me or for us?
Yeah. If you guys are watching at home too and you're enjoying it, just please blast it and share it on your social media. All your friends can watch together. It's like you're watching a free Trixie Mattel concert from a beanbag chair in your house.
Sounds like a good afternoon. Good way to spend a Tuesday.
Yeah. This song I love. I love this song. This song's called Red Side of the Moon. This one, when I wrote it, I was like, oh my God, this is my favorite song I've ever written. But it's very sad, so it might not have super mass appeal. But like all my favorite folk songs, it's a country song, it's a story song. And for me, it was at a time where I felt like living in these bright spotlights with these cameras, I felt like it was going to prevent me from ever being able to like hot glue a successful relationship to this. And so this song is kind of about that. It's called Red Side of the Moon. And I actually thought of it because if you're, let's see, are you married?
Nope.
Girlfriend?
Nope.
Okay, no one loves her, but someday, maybe, you know, I'll marry you later today. Okay.
Sounds
so
good.
if you had a husband and he
that
was...
will get good views on the Facebook Live.
Okay, good. Then we have a guy right here. What if they carried a guy in a tux?
That would be our most successful Facebook Live ever.
What
awesome.
celebrity would you want?
What celebrity would I want? A random one. Jarvis Cocker from Pulp. I would marry him.
Let's carry him in a tux. We've got him here. So if he was your lover, if you ever sat on the other side of a bright, bright spotlight, an old-fashioned spotlight, there is this bright, like hot burning ring around the back of the spotlight where you operate it. And so Red Side of the Moon made me think, what if you really loved someone who was in entertainment and you were always on the other side of this spotlight? What would it be like to watch a room full of people also love that person? And how would that maybe make your relationship deteriorate over time, I guess? This sort of transmission between you and your loved one and a room full of people who also love them. Anyway, it's maybe you'll get that, or maybe you just will cry. I don't know, but this is called Red Side of the Moon. Judy never asked her for forever. Judy never asked her for the moon. Judy knew that loving her was better, and no one knew her heart like Judy. Judy's never mentioned in the papers, and Judy's never noted in the news. Judy knew that loving her was safer, loving from the red side of the moon. Loving you from the red side of the moon. Loving her was easier than a Christopherson tune. Someday is a story and it's the one I'm sticking to. Loving from the red side of the moon. Judy grew up stepping right beside her. Loved her from the cover of the crowds. Judy's heart was beating right beside her, even with the music loud. And Judy's never minded all the waiting. Judy's never thought to watch the clock. Judy knew that loving's in the patience, when the red side of the moon is what we've got. Loving you from the red side of the moon. Loving her was funnier than a Saturday cartoon. Someday is a story and it's the one I'm sticking to. Loving from the red side of the moon. Judy left her best days in Chicago. Judy left her worst days in the rain. Middle of the winter with so far to go. and she couldn't keep on hitching to that train as she still listens to the radio. Late night after midnight she tunes in, sings along to songs and every word she knows, remembering when the moon was burning red. Loving you from the red side of the moon, loving her was heavier than a leaded red balloon. Someday is a story and it's the one I'm sticking to, loving from the red side of the moon.
I have to practice my tongue pop. I'm not good at it.
Thank you. It's so odd performing for like no one and also a person sitting adjacent to you.
I'm sorry if I got in your personal space.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
But I was living the dream today that I got to have a ringside seat for that. That's really cool because you're about to go on tour. You're doing this big tour.
Yes. If you would like to come cheer for my music or laugh in my face, I'm coming to 40 North American cities. You really can't even run from me anymore. And all my tickets are available, and you can see the dates for yourself on TrixieMattel.com.
And this is a music tour, not a comedy tour. This is you actually doing what you just did just now.
Yeah, my show's called Trixie Mattel Now with Moving Parts, and it's about 70% stand-up and 30% music.
Okay.
I love to use music in my stand-up shows to kind of laugh, and then add a musical point as like a punctuation. Like, for example, in Moving Parts, spoiler alert, there's a part where I do this whole like comedic monologue about being really, really Caucasian. And then I punctuate it by doing like an acoustic Dave Matthews version of like CoverGirl by RuPaul.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it's fun to work guitar into anything. And then my auto harp, of course, I play on tour my harp. It's just fun.
The auto harp. So what I want to talk about with these two albums, Two Birds, One Stone, is I think a lot of people might be surprised at how really legitimately country they sound. You know, there's a lot of queens that have come out of, you know, RuPaul's Drag Race who do music. Some of them it's more like kind of clubby EDM stuff, and then there's people like Adore Sharon where it's a little bit more rock. But what you're doing really, there's no one else in the Drag Race space who's doing this.
Well, that's how you succeed. You know, you just got to pick something no one has done, no one wants to do, and that way you can say you're the best at it.
Do you think people are surprised when they hear it and that this is coming out of, you know, the Drag Race world?
It's always weird. People say, a guy said to me at a meet and greet the other day, he was like, I actually like your music. I was like, nobody's disagreeing with you, but that's a tone you chose, you know. But I think it's just because you don't, I mean, to be fair, this doesn't make you think that is part of it. Mm-hmm. But for Trixie, I guess nowadays I operate more in like the crying clown territory, where I love to tell jokes and I love like sappy folk music and I love to marry the two together.
So what attracts you to country music? Is it something you grew up with? You mentioned you grew up in a small town.
Yeah, well, I know that in like music world, it's cool to be like, I always grew up with it. I loved it my whole life. I grew up with country music around me, but I hated it.
Really?
I was like, it's repetitive. It's old people music. It's simple. It's boring. It's not on the radio. It's not cool. And then like, not until I was like 24 years old, like after the fact, 2020, I was like, oh, this music has such emotional, like, enjoy club music or electronic music. So it would be silly for me to try to, like, I mean, what would my dance hit sound like? I don't want to think about it.
I like what you're doing now. What country artists inspire you or influence you? Obviously, the aesthetic visually seems very old school, you know, Dolly Parton, Patsy Cline stuff. But, like, what inspires you, influences you?
Well, it kind of changes over time because the visual inspirations accompany usually whatever musically is inspiring me. So like when Two Birds came out last year, the look was a lot more like square dancing dresses and like big cowboy boots and big hair. And this year I got a lot more into like Emmylou Harris, Joni Mitchell. So the look sort of turned more like maybe like late 60s, a little more lived in. I don't just wear pink now. I also experiment with mustard and brown.
It's good to have an open mind.
I like glamour. When people think glamour, they think mustard, I think. But and then I also love, I mean, June Carter Cash is my all-time favorite.
Really?
My all-time favorite. I mean, if you guys don't know at home, Johnny Cash's wife, but heir to the, amazing Carter family throne. Some of the best songwriting. She is so good because she takes great, deep, real human things and she puts a fun, bouncy spin on it that makes it digestible. And that's what I love about her music.
Now, this is a loaded question, but do you think the country world, the actual country world, Nashville, Music Row, would accept you? Would you play Stagecoach? Would you be at the ACMs? Is that a goal of yours?
I will say I have to fight for them a little bit. I think the perception of audiences that love folk and country, I think they're perceived to be more closed-minded than they really are. It's one of those things where the most extreme voices represent the masses. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like not everybody who goes to church hates gay people. Not everybody who listens to folk and country would object to drag. I mean, if you look around, is Dolly not in drag? You know what I mean? She's in probably a bigger wig than I am right now. But for me, I guess I've always found a way to win people over, especially with comedy. It's kind of a bait and switch with Trixie. And on one hand, being a white guy with a guitar isn't that special.
Does well on American Idol.
Yeah, totally. You got to have like a smoky voice, and somebody in your family has to have died. I mean, it's reality TV. Someone close to you. If you want to win reality TV, you have to kill someone you love. As soon as I got on Drag Race, I mean, all my siblings, I just lined them up, just gone. I need a sob story.
Happy National Sibling Day.
Happy National Siblings Day, yeah.
But is that a goal of yours? Do you think that, would you like to, be, at Stagecoach with Casey Musgraves? Would you like to be?
Oh, of course. I mean, I know we're supposed to dream big, but as a drag queen, I guess maybe in the beginning I didn't dream at all. I was just doing it for my enjoyment. And so, as a musician, I definitely didn't start playing guitar in a tree, barefoot, when I was 13, because I thought I would be right here with you right now, So, I think that when my first release, Two Birds went really well, and One Stone went really well, and I'm optimistic. I mean, I feel... Maybe I shoot low. I feel really famous and successful now, so anything else is like cool.
Yeah, so you started playing guitar when you were 13.
Yeah.
What were you playing then?
Because I came up on I live so deep in the country. I used to listen to 2 hours of radio in the morning and 2 hours of radio at night because it was a 2-hour bus ride to and from school.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, and my bus driver played popular radio music, which at the time was acoustic guitar driven pop music. So think like Avril, Sheryl Crow, Michelle Branch.
Oh.
That's what was in my ears.
All the Lilith Fair type stuff.
Yes, think like Wonderwall or like Time of Your Life. So guitar came to me in sort of a pop way, but in my bones, the way I grew up, it was the fabric of folk music.
What was your childhood like? You grew up in Wisconsin, am I right?
Yeah, I just ran around in the woods until I turned 18, and then I was college, sure. I grew up in the deep country. I mean, I don't think I have a unique story.
Oh, okay. I just wondered, how you went from that to this fabulousnly.
Well, I had a group interview at Forever 21, but I never got a call back, and I needed to get
their loss.
Yeah, their loss, totally. No, I just think my grandpa played folk music and country music, and he always said being a musician is 40% how good you are, 60% how good you look doing it. And I think with drag, I took that a little far, but...
Is your grandfather still alive?
No, he isn't. And part of him not being around anymore was maybe what made me take that type of music more seriously. I think some of the happiest memories of my life were learning to play guitar at the kitchen table, learning Roy Orbison or George Jones or Conway Twitty. Music I didn't necessarily love, but that's what I knew from home.
What do you think of today's current landscape? We're sort of getting away from the country music that is known as bro country, which obviously is not what you do. It's sort of getting into more people like Casey and Chris Stapleton, Jason Isbell and stuff.
Oh my God, Chris Stapleton. It's not a joke. That song, A Whiskey and You, oh my God, he's untouchable. The songwriting, the voice, the guitar playing is next level. Jason Isbell is one of my all-time favorites. I think he's one of the best songwriters we have right now. I guess for me... country right now is at that weird thing where it's rich people writing songs that they think working class people want to hear, and then working class people hear it and think that it's a song about them. But then you have people like Casey Musgraves sort of cheating the system, writing legitimately great music that isn't necessarily you can tell she doesn't write it to be commercial. She writes it from her human soul.
What do you write about? I guess you sort of touched on it, but what gets you in the mindset to write?
It's hard for me to write unless something bad happens to me. I mean, none of my music is about having a great day. You know, same with comedy. It's not like it's like when you go see a comedian and you're like, they're like, anybody in the audience married? And if you're not married, you're like, I'm just gonna turn my hearing aids off for a second because it's not. You know, when I get broken up with, there's someone in my life. You know, like I would love to have a dog just be hit by a car. You know, something. Give me something to work with. I'll hit my own dog with a car if it means I can write a song from it. I lost Drag Race. That was something, you know.
But then you won All Stars 3, so now you're in a happy place, so you have to find something else to write about. Well, I do want to ask you about that. I was rooting for you for the entire time of All Stars 3.
I hope you put money on it.
I didn't. I messed up.
Damn it.
And I was very thrilled you won. I think most people were thrilled you won, but there was some controversy over the outcome. Not so much about you winning, but over Shangela not being in the top 2.
Oh,
Did you catch any flack for that? Or?
You know, if you watch the episode, I'm the only queen who said Shangela should be in the top 2. So if you wanted Shangela to be in the top 2, I was fighting for you. I was on your team. Mm-hmm. Me and Thorgy were the 2 queens who said that she should be. So, you gotta ask the other queens. As RuPaul says, I don't know what goes on in their minds.
But you didn't get any flack like online, or you didn't get trolled or anything like that.
Well, I think some people were like upset that it wasn't Shangela, and therefore they were just like, "You, the blonde one, you did this," and it's like, no, I was just lip syncing Miley Cyrus trying to win money.
Is it true that Miley Cyrus wants to duet with you?
Oh, the night I won, she Instagram messaged me and was like, "We got to do a song," and I was like, would literally throw myself under a truck for you.
That would be amazing.
She is one of my favorites. One of my dreams is to like quit drag, go live in the woods somewhere, and just write her music for her. And like twice a year, send her a mixtape and be like, "These are your songs. They're gonna be great for you." She has such like a real human storyteller voice. Mm-hmm. It's also like it's anti-songbird in a way. It's like there's a wisdom to it. Like I don't want to like go crazy, but like it has a Stevie Nicks quality to it.
Yeah.
It has like a depth and like I don't know, it has such color to it. I love her voice.
And Casey Musgraves has expressed some interest in doing something with you. Am I right?
Oh, the fact that she even knows I'm alive. I'm like, I'll polish your boots, lady. I'll quit music and drag today. Yeah, she's super sweet. She'll tweet me from time to time. She's a very gifted artist. And especially in her earlier days, like a few years ago, she was in pretty draggy, like country costumes.
Yeah. And like, she's obviously, she's the goddaughter of Dolly Parton, whose shirt I'm wearing.
Yeah, she's a legend.
Well, okay, I have a few questions from fans because they've been pouring in. Caitlin wants to know, how does it feel knowing that you've introduced country music to a whole new generation of people?
Oh, well, it's strange how many people love drag. Nope, that's not what I meant. A lot of people love drag.
Yeah.
And I don't expect a lot of people who love drag to also be like, I love Drag Race, and then I got to hear my Chris Stapleton album. Not necessarily an obvious crossover.
Yeah.
But I think with folk music, it's like anything. Like I hate hip hop and EDM. I'm an old person, but I love Missy Elliott. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There's always something for you. If you just haven't, it's like saying you hate movies because you went to see War Horse.
Laura wants to know, would you ever make a Trixie Mattel custom guitar? If so, what would it be, and what brand would you go with in a perfect world?
Oh my God, that's a 2-part question. It's a 3-part question. Mm-hmm. If it was an acoustic guitar, I would probably make I have a pink Gibson Hummingbird that I love, and I think it would look great in pink and white, because what I have is pink and black. And then a Fender Electric, a pink Telecaster in glitter pink with gold hardware.
You'll have to come back and when you get that and perform more.
Yes, like a full Barbie guitar. And then I've always wanted to do a custom auto harp because people always tell me they want to learn, I think, like a Trixie signature auto harp. Something where like a light wood is stained like a rosé, so it has like a warm pink tone to it.
How did you get into the auto harp? We don't see too many auto harps these days in popular music.
Yeah, not enough. Not enough auto harps. I always wanted to learn, and then I met a girl and she was like, if you could play guitar, I'm sure you could figure it out. And I picked one up, and I was just, like, glued to it. It reminded me of when I started learning guitar. You couldn't talk to me. I was just in my room making love to it for hours and hours and hours trying to learn. I love auto harp. It's my favorite instruments. And it has such a weird, calming music box quality. When I pull it out in front of an audience, the harp, it's like a trapezoid shape, which is very, like, mystical and strange. And the music box quality, audiences are just like kids again. They're like swaying.
It gives me nursery rhyme or nursery school vibes because I think I had a kindergarten teacher or someone who used to like play kiddie songs on it. It does. It's very comforting.
Everybody had that weird teacher who played an auto harp. I'm that teacher.
Teaching the kids. Hannah wants to know, and this actually relates to the Little Sister video you were talking about. If you could work as a performer out of drag as Brian, would you want to?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, to me, this is just a hot wig and, you know, no, I'm not wearing underwear. That's the only difference. I'm actually probably more clothed in drag, or out of drag, because, you know, like underwear, socks, and all that. I like performing in drag because as a comedian, it lets me go dark places. However, as a musician, sometimes, like I was just sitting here with the wig, singing, I was like, I can really feel my eyelashes. I would love to just... But with my makeup, if I pull my eyelashes off, I'm going to look like Wilson from Castaway. I can't do that. But like in the Little Sister video, I would love to explore other characters that maybe aren't Trixie. Sort of like a P.B. Herman, where like he's playing like somebody that's a different age and a different person. I would love to elaborate with that character in Little Sister video and make him like this weird, anxious, like Vietnam vet, like art teacher guy. And do stand-up in that character. I think that'd be fun. Sort of like a show that's about someone bombing. I want to play a character who bombs all night.
Amazing.
Sort of like I do now.
Is that sort of how you see your future, is like maybe getting away from the Trixie thing and being more of like an actor or a comedian, a comedic actor?
Yeah, well, I see myself as a comedian and musician who happens to be in drag.
Okay.
I mean, in drag, I don't really act very different. And maybe more talkative and probably more cranky because I'm in pain. But like as I get older, I don't think I can make this look good at 45. So I need to evolve somewhere a little more realistic. Maybe a chicken suit, something to hide the head.
Becca has an interesting question. She says, I'm getting you tattooed next week. How do you feel about people getting your face on them?
I actually probably, I'm going to go out there and say it, out of Drag Race Queens, I'm probably the most tattooed because I think my face is a pretty easy tattoo.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because of your eye makeup, the eyes are easy to do. They're very...
Yeah, whereas like if you picked Courtney Axe and tattooed her, you'd just be like, it's a pretty girl. It's a really nice, pretty girl. Whereas with me, I think you could get it the size of a quarter and you're like, is that a little Trixie? So I think I'm a great first tattoo. There's no blending, just lines.
Should Becca get the two birds version, or should she get the new look tattooed, or the one stone more lived-in look?
I like the hippie one a little more, like the front of my Moving Parts album with the harp and like this, like the witch hair. Like that one's pretty cool. My favorite Trixie tattoo anybody has. There's this gentleman. He's heterosexual. He lives in San Francisco, I believe. And from Two Birds, there's a lyric called, "Can a cactus and a lily find a common pot to grow?" And he has a potted plant on his arm with a cactus and a lily growing in it. And I was like, that is adorable.
Awesome. Alexandria has a question that I am excited to ask you. Will you ever do tutorials on YouTube of your songs on guitar? I play guitar, but I'd love a little slowed-down version so I can learn your songs. That's so cool.
I'm going to snitch on myself. I'm not the one you want to learn guitar from. You want to learn from, like, actual professionals. I mean, I'm self-taught, so I'm sure I do a lot of things wrong. If you YouTube anything, there's probably already tutorials how to play it.
I think you should do a little like tutorial channel. I think it would be cool with your pink guitar. Oh, here's a good one. Chloe wants to know, if you had to duet with a queen from Drag Race, who would it be?
Oh, easy question. I would love to write a ballad for Adore Delano because I'm obsessed with her. Her voice is amazing.
She can really sing. She's been here before.
She's somebody who's like, the drag is a decoration. That motherfucker is amazing. Oh, I said fuck.
It's all right.
Oh, okay. Courtney, I love.
I've seen you perform with Courtney before.
She's just like the real deal to me. She's like Olivia Newton-John.
She is. That's actually really good.
Yeah, Olivia Newton, and her name is John. And then, those are probably my two faves. Michelle Visage. I don't know if she counts.
No, she counts.
I love her voice. I've told her before, like, if we ever have a show together, please let me play for you. I love playing and singing backup for people.
Coy wants to know, what advice would you give to those whose parents don't support their aspirations?
Oh, let me tell you a story. Corey?
Coy.
They support your name, but not your aspirations. Okay. It's a cute name. It's really cute. No, I'm just kidding. 3 weeks before I auditioned for Drag Race, I went to the Potbelly's sandwich store down the street from my house in Milwaukee and auditioned to play there. And they told me not at this time. So don't listen to people.
How does your family, do they support your music or your drag or your career? How do they feel about it?
They're so country that they're like not impressed. Unless it's local government, they're like, what do you do now? Sounds great. Like they don't think it's that great.
Oh, does that bum you out?
No, because they're not anti-gay or anything.
Okay.
They're just sort of like, good for you, lady. When are you coming home for Christmas?
Do they like your music? I mean, it's country music, so.
Well, like I played Little Sister for my siblings, and they were like, great, I'm going to go. Like, they just were not. It's not impressive to them.
Happy National Sibling Day.
Yeah. But you know what? It's kind of nice because it's always taught me to do this for my own enjoyment. I've never had like a cheerleading squad at home. Just because they're like, we're happy for you. You do what you love, but we don't really care. Like they've never seen me like do a show or anything.
Dara wants to know, how do you feel being so influential? Does it ever make you nervous?
I don't know if I'm influential. I am often under the influential. No, I don't start doing drag. I didn't start doing drag or doing music because I wanted to like make anybody feel a certain way about I could be better or I'm inspired by someone. I'm just hanging out. If I inspire you, I hope I do it in the right way.
Cassandra wants to know, and this was a question I also was going to ask you myself, is what is the future of the Trixie and Katya show on Viceland? I know you've been doing it with Bob the Drag Queen lately.
Yes. Well, Bob came in and was so, oh my God, good. I can neither confirm nor deny a season 2, but if there was, I could promise you that it'd be amazing.
Are you listening to Katya's podcast?
Oh, I listened to the first episode.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, she's a wild card. She's a card. She's wild. She's probably pushing a shopping cart down Hollywood Boulevard right now. If you see her, wave.
Curtis wants to know if you have advice for young aspiring drag queens, the future Trixies and Katyas of the world.
Oh, get out while you still can.
No.
Yeah, I get a second major.
Why do you say that?
No, I like drag. I will say drag is sort of like the porn industry that, like, once you're ankle deep in it, you're all the way in it.
Do you sometimes regret that you went that route? Or, you know, obviously.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, no. I mean, I just, you know, someday when I quit drag, I'll be really proud that I did it. But I definitely don't want to do it forever.
Hannah, well, you're going to do it for a while because Hannah wants to know. Your style has evolved from Malibu Barbie to Joanne. Where do you see your style evolving next?
That's a great question. Well, like a year ago, I was like living in the 50s a little bit, and now I'm into like the late 60s. I could see myself going a little more true, like late 70s next.
Nice.
Just a little more. I want to lose a lot of weight.
But you're the skinny legend.
I want to be the skinnier legend. I want to be like Naomi Smalls, where I can just like hang fabric on myself with like two hair clips and be like, you know, and look great. Or maybe it'd be fun to, no, I think I'm really happy where I am right now. Because I like this look that sort of, when I used to do the Malibu Barbie thing, whenever I'd pick up a guitar, I'd be like, this doesn't really make sense. And so this personal style shift had to sort of match the new content.
And where do you see your music going next?
Oh, nothing's, I have to have some more bad stuff happen to me. If anybody wants to drive by my house and hobble me, I mean, that would help.
I sort of asked this already, but do you think in time that you could make real inroads into the mainstream country world? Because I'd really like to see it, and I think we're at a point in history and society and herstory where I feel it could happen.
I think it could happen. To be honest, it doesn't occur to me that it can't. It's never really felt like... Trixie Mattel has always opened doors for me. It's closed very few.
Very cool. Well, we need to wrap this up, but I do want to reiterate what Victoria said. She says, God, she's so perfect. Her voice honestly cured my depression, improved my grades, and added 10 years to my life. Well said.
That is extreme. Let's hope that 10 years I added to your life, you make use of it, okay? Stay in college.
Well, I want to congratulate you on everything. I failed to mention that you actually went to #1 on iTunes recently, right?
I sure did. I went to #1 overall, #1 on singer-songwriter. And then I also on Billboard, I believe, was 1 on Heat Seekers, 16 on Americana. It's very cool. I mean, for a cross-dresser with a guitar to be able to do that stuff, it's crazy. I saw RuPaul recently, and she was like, you're doing things that nobody's ever done. She was like, I'm really proud of you.
I'm proud of you, too. I'm sure everyone out there is. Congratulations on everything. Your Moving Parts tour, is that what it's called? When does it start?
Yes, it starts in like 2 weeks in Florida and goes all over the United States. And it's been important to me my whole life, if I was going to put out music, have it be very affordable. And Two Birds and One Stone are both only like $7 on iTunes. Treat yourself.
It's a bargain. I'll see you at Stagecoach, hopefully.
I'll see you there
on stage with
DragCon.
Casey. I'll see you at DragCon for sure. Thank you so much for coming by. It was a real treat. Thank you, everybody.